Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, everybody. Thank you so much for listening to the first ever episode of the Capable Podcast. My name is Sean, and I'm going to be your host. And today we're going to talk about something that is something everyone wants to know. What is love? I'm going to ask you that first. Take a second to yourself and ask yourself, what is love? What do you describe love as? Do you describe love as a feeling? Do you describe love as an emotion? Is it a happiness? Only you can describe that. See, love is something that we don't realize is a subjective feeling. It's something that is very similar to pain in that only you can say if you're in love with someone or you're not. Nobody else can tell you that you aren't in pain when you are, just like nobody else can tell you if you're in love or not. Where we're going to begin is, in order to know what love is, we need to realize what love is not. Just think about it for a second. How do we know what anything is in life if we don't already know what it is not? How do we know what food tastes good compared to what food tastes bad? You have to eat bad food every so often just to know what bad food tastes like, so the good food tastes even better. It's the same thing with love. We have to experience what love is not to be able to understand what love is. And the most important love that we can have for ourselves is self-love, but we'll get into that in a little bit here. So, love is something that we all desire. But as I said, the most important aspect of love is self-love. And I'm going to go in a little bit of detail about that. Love is something that you have to have for yourself. If you have it for yourself, nothing else really matters. Because you are the only person in your entire life that is going to be with you every second of your life. I'm going to ask you another question. How many of you can look back at all your friends that were good friends in high school that you thought, oh man, I'm never going to ever not be friends with this person? How many people from high school are you still friends with? I'm going to go ahead and tell you that number is probably very small, if anybody at all. People come and go in your life. People come and go in your life. You are the only person that's going to be constant in your own life. So why not make the best investment you can in yourself by loving yourself? Why not do that? Why not? Why can't we do that? Why is it so much easier for us to bash ourselves and be hard on ourselves, but it's so easy to compliment someone else? See, the biggest lie that we're told in this world, I believe, is, as far as love goes, is that you need someone to complete you. Why do you need an external option to complete your own happiness? See what I mean here? If you love yourself, and I mean really love yourself, and I'm not talking about the cocky, arrogant kind of better than you kind of love. I mean loving yourself and knowing what your value is and knowing what you're fully capable of. That's what it's all about here on the Capable Podcast. Everyone has a capability. Everyone. And I will dare say an elite capability. Everyone possesses minimally one. And I believe you do as well. Loving yourself makes everything feel right when it happens to you. If something that used to make you feel insecure or sad, it might hurt a little bit because it might not be what you wanted, but at the same time, if you love yourself, it's not going to do anything but fall off your shoulder like a bead of water. And so the more we look into self-love, it goes with any kind of relationship. A dating relationship, friendship, family, work relationship, doesn't matter. I'm going to say a quote here, and I want you to do me a favor. If you are not driving and can safely do this, type this quote into your phone, write it down, put it somewhere where you can see it for every day for about 21 days. It takes 21 days to make a habit. Takes about 21 days to break a habit. You only get what you think you deserve. I'll say that one more time. You only get what you think you deserve. And that goes with everything. A job, a relationship, anything. The reason that you're probably getting bad relationships is because even if you want to admit it or not, that's what you think you deserve. You may come from a broken home and you think that that's how it's supposed to be, but it's not. The bare minimum should never be considered effort. It's become the new normal. Love has become more of a quote, and lying has become more of the truth. As far as men go in this world, I can speak because I am a man here. Every man is going to have one woman that they are in love with, that they meet in their entire life. And they either keep them, obviously, and stay happy with them, and obviously the rest is history. But the other part, if they lose them, that's where you get men that have an ability to move on from one person to the next, and so on and so forth. Or can be guarded, or can act like they don't have emotions. Or they can act like they're heartless. Women have a different ability. Women have the ability to fall in love with someone based on an emotional, mental, chemistry kind of connection. They develop it deep within. That's why men have become so good at lying to get what they want. Sorry, I'm going to say it. It's a harsh truth about it, but that's the way it goes. And that is why women dress up, put makeup on, look good, because men are all about what they see. Everything they see. Bet you didn't think about it that way, did you? And going off the topic of what love isn't, let me put it to you this way. I'm going to tell you right now that you're not in love with them. If you're in an argument with them, and you can actually raise your voice and keep going, and the look in their face, the look in their eyes, the fear that you're causing them, doesn't at least make you stop for a second, or your throat doesn't feel like it's going to close up and doesn't burn like you just drank gasoline, you don't love them. If the sound of their voice doesn't at least minimally calm you, you probably don't love them. If they are not your safe haven, and I mean safe haven, to where you can come home to them or see them and suddenly everything makes sense, you're not in love with them. I'm sorry. That's what love isn't. And I hate to say that because it's the truth. But that's the way love works. The way I describe love is it's not an emotion. It's not a feeling. It's a commitment and a decision. It's something that you do on your own accord and you decide to do. It's when you meet one person that you know you don't ever want to live without. And love starts where feelings end. Love starts where feelings end. Love starts where feelings end. What do I mean by love starts when feelings end? Love starts when feelings end. Anyone can be all emotional and giddy when everything's good. Call it the honeymoon phase. Everyone can be okay with that. But what happens when the struggle happens? What happens when you get into your first, respectful argument? Where you're expressing your feelings. Do you say stuff that's going to bother them? And do you say that on purpose? Or are you expressing stuff that bothers you and telling it to that person, almost like you're presenting it, like this is something that you're doing that you don't know that bothers me? That's the way to approach it with loving someone. And another question that a lot of people aren't going to realize is, how do you love someone and have the ability to watch them love someone else, that's a hard one. Because love is patient. Love is kind. It doesn't envy. It doesn't boast. It's not proud. It's not rude. It's not self-seeking. It finds no pleasure in wrong, but delights in the truth. It keeps no records of wrongs. It's always faithful. It always protects. In this life, we're given 3 things when it comes to love: faith, hope, and love. But the greatest of these is love. We all deserve it. So we have to figure out what love is not before we know what love is. Now, and we're going to go into talking about what love is now. We've talked about what it isn't. Love is a decision. It's a commitment. It's a commitment and a decision to walk through the worst times. That's the one person, the only person on this earth that you want to walk through every trouble with. Because everyone can have the good times. You want them to be the moon shining on you when it's dark, not the sun shining during the bright day, shining on everyone else, taking care of everyone else. That's harsh, isn't it? And I hate to say it that way, but it has to be said. If you cannot love someone to a point, I mean, sure, it's going to bother you if they don't choose you. Sure, it's going to bother you. That's human. That's natural. That's normal. I don't use the word normal often, but that's very normal. But do you love them enough to help them search for their happiness, whatever it is, even if it means that you are not the cause of their happiness? Would you have that ability? Would you have the ability to have that type of selfless, unconditional love? And if they do choose someone else, have the ability to not say, "I told you so." Just have the ability to love them. See, they go through the bad time. You're going to be there with them. Love is something we all strive for. Love is something that we all want. And if you love yourself, you become instantly more attractive. It's just a thing. Doesn't matter if it's a male or female. Confidence is one of the most, if not the most attractive thing a woman or a man can possess. The "I don't need you, but I want you" mentality, right? I don't need you, but I want you mentality. You add to my happiness, so I want you in my life. I want to fix things on my own. I want to fix myself on my own. But I want you to walk right beside me. But let me do it on my own. Right? Be independently codependent. Codependency will kill every relationship. Just like expectations. We're going to talk about that in probably the next episode or a couple from now. Expectations kill everything. You will find love if you live your life, love yourself, stay true to your values. Don't go to a bar if you don't go to a bar. Because you might meet someone there who does not live the lifestyle that you do. Do your thing, live your life, live accordingly, walk your path, and I promise you, somebody's going to come into your life that is going to attract you and make you look off your path. They're not going to be what you expected. You're not out there searching the wilderness and happen to find something. See, expectations are like, I always say it like this. It's like when you go to buy a car. You have expectations of what a car should be. You want the color, leather or cloth seats. I can go on and on and on. This is the car that you want, the make, I don't know, whatever it is. You do that online. You build this dream that you want and you expect it to be in reality. And when you go in reality and go to a dealership, you'll find a car that has 80% of the features. But if you wanted a blue car, it's a red car. If you wanted leather, it's got cloth. But it's got everything else. So you settle. It's the same thing for a relationship. If you expect someone to make a certain amount of money, look a certain way, dress a certain way, those are expectations. That is you expecting them to be this person that you have dreamt up that is probably not true to who they are. And I'm sorry, I hate to say that. That's the absolute truth. But if you have standards, that's different. Don't lie to me. Don't break my trust. Don't make me look stupid for loving you. That is something anybody can fulfill. And if you walk the path of your life of self-love, doing your thing, living your life, and someone comes along and adds to that happiness, that is love. And it is one of the most incredible feelings in the entire world. When you can love someone and just be thankful that they're in your life and be actually happy, not just say it, that they are happy, even if you're not the cause of it. That's being selfless. Don't dwell on it. Love is a deep commitment. It's not an emotion and it's not a feeling. That's called lust. I hate to tell it to you. But we all deserve pure love. I'm going to leave it with one more quote. And it's a pretty powerful one. A wife or a husband does sound better than a girlfriend or boyfriend. But being single and loving yourself sounds way better and feels way better than being stupid or making you look stupid or something making you look stupid. Have some self-respect for yourself. I believe in you. I believe in you. I know you have a capability that I don't possess. And that's what we're about here on the Capability Show. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you have any questions, please message me. Follow me on my social medias. They are all Mightyyyymouse, Mightyyyymouse, Instagram and TikTok. I post daily content on there, and it's inspirational. It's just like this. Thank you all for listening, and I hope you guys have a God bless rest of your day. And remember, you're only going to get what you think you deserve. If you think you deserve pure love, you're going to get it. All you got to do is wait. Until next time, my name's Sean. Thank you for listening to the Capable Podcast.